For all the time that I've been a Star Wars fan, I've always looked more to one or side or the other. Mainly through all my childhood memories of all of seeing Star Wars for the first time, there's always been the one side that I do favor more towards. And out of the Jedi and Sith, I favor more towards the Sith. I love how in a lot of the movies there's a lot more of the dark moments, and how a lot of those dark moments are caused by the Sith. With a lot of these intact, there's a lot of memories I have relating to, especially with Revenge of the Sith. And a lot of those memories, seeing the dark sides of those movies, especially seeing like Count Dooku being beheaded, Palpatine's arrest was just one of my favorite scenes, and it was the biggest reason I recreated it. And a lot of how I see Star Wars is honestly how a lot of my channel went. By seeing it as I favor more towards the dark than the light, on as far as the storyline goes and the characters, you guys got to see a darker side of Star Wars that I always loved. I love horror, I love dark sides moments, and it always just relates to the bigger picture of how it all looks. I just love all this dark stuff from Star Wars, and I love the Vader comics, I love Vader Immortal. Fallen Order is really good. Besides the minor factor of it not being like how we all kind of expected it to be, I feel like it was okay, but the dark side moments were pretty well executed. But I feel as if I wasn't like this, and if I was more towards favoring the light, I feel like you guys wouldn't have gotten what you guys have gotten now at this point. There would have never been an Order 66 video, there would have never been a Siege of Mandalore video, there would have never been any of these videos, and I probably would have been still trying to do the original series I was playing. One instance I remember a lot as a kid that really made me towards the dark side more, and leaning more towards how the darkness was honestly, most people probably don't remember this, is seeing the cinematics for the Old Republic trailers. Those things were insane. Seeing the Jedi and Sith battle, seeing there's multiple battles of those trailers that I just love. There's so much chaos and darkness and just death. It looks amazing. And it was such a sight to behold, and I eventually tried to buy the game for it back in 2005. But what I didn't know was actually it was a role-playing game, and it wasn't what I thought it was. I thought it was a game just like... 2001. But I thought it was a game that was more or less like Revenge of the Sith, the video game, where you just went around as either Obi-Wan and Anakin, and just sliced down enemies and whatnot. And it turns out it was actually a role-playing game that most adults would play. I saved up $60, I remember. I saved $60 for the game, bought it, and then my parents took it away. So I never got to experience the game, but I do remember the cinematics pretty well. And another instance of how I see favoring more towards the dark is honestly with how seeing with some of the original trilogy. I never do talk much about the original trilogy in my videos, and not really represent them that much other than Vader. Mainly because I never grew up with the original trilogy that much, other than seeing them when I was younger and then rewatching them sometimes. But I mostly kept on to the prequels because they were the first movies that I really did see that impacted me, especially with just Revenge of the Sith, and how original trilogy was never too dark. It wasn't exactly to the point of how Revenge of the Sith was. And I know it's sad that I'm having to point back to Revenge of the Sith all the time, but honestly, at this point, it's the darkest Star Wars movie other than Rogue One. At least its ending. But I feel as if, with a lot of how the darkness goes for me, I feel as if that there's some people that do relate to this as well. Like playing the Revenge of the Sith video game. I loved that game, and I still play it to this day. And I don't have an emulator for it, so I always have to hook up my old console and play it. It is glitchy. I won't lie to you guys. Since it is original Xbox, it is glitchy. But I still remember, even as a kid, playing through Order 66 and slicing down Jedi. I loved those moments, because there's never been a game where you can just slice down Jedi or slice down clones like how Order 66 was, even in any video game. It's the biggest reason I made Order 66 into a video. Is because there was never such thing as that aspect of Order 66 in a video game or in a recent TV show until the Siege of Mandalore arc came out. And I feel as if some people do enjoy that side too, mainly because of the darkness and whatnot, but I feel as if there's some aspects of the movies as well that do bring in a special kind of darkness. But what do you guys think about this? And I know this was kind of a short one, but it's a very simple question. There wasn't much to go off of other than kind of just fanboying over the dark moments of Star Wars, but I hope you guys did enjoy. Anyway guys, until the next video, see you guys in the next one.